Hi everyone, welcome to this class. I'm Dami of 𝐓𝐻𝐇. Today we'll be learning how to draft this beautiful Halterneck Overbust Corset with asymmetric hemline. So please stick to the end of the tutorial. I'll be taking you through the step-by-step on how to draft this. The tutorial is very detailed and beginners friendly. Thank you for joining us today. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime we have a new tutorial. For our returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back. If you want to join my WhatsApp group, the link will be in the description box, so do well to click the link to be able to join the group. Thank you for joining us, and let's get started. Okay, so to draft the conical Halterneck corset with the asymmetric hemline, we are going to be using this pattern paper. So I've highlighted all the necessary ones. So this is the chest line, the bust, the underbust, the waist, and the blouse length. So once we have this now, we can go ahead and impute all of our measurements. The shoulder is 14 divided by 2. We have 7.5. We have 7 inches, so you mark the same thing on the chest line. Connect the lines together. For the neck shoulder slope, you step down by 1 inch from the shoulder line and 3 inches for the neck width. So our bust measurement is 8.5. That's a bust divided by 4. 8.5. We're going to measure the same thing on the waist and on the underbust line. Our nipple to nipple measurement is 6.5. That's 3.25 divided by 2. We have this. Now our underbust measurement is 7 inches. That's 28 divided by 4. And also the waist is also 7 inches. So the difference in the bust and the underbust is what we'll be using for our allowance. That's 1.75. So you come to the underbust line here, you measure 1.75, divide it on both sides, and the same thing also on the waist, since the measurements are both the same. The bust is going to be stopping ½ inch before the bust point. So we're going to connect like this. The difference in the front dart and the back dart and the back half length is 1.5 that we are using for our bust dart. We'll connect it ½ inch before the bust point. So whatever we have for the dart here, we are going to be taking it to the hem of the blouse. So we have it here, then we'll connect it together. Okay, so now we can impute our hip measurement. The hip is 40 inches divided by 4. We have 10, and we have 1.5 inches as our dart here. So here we are going to be adding 1.5 to the hip measurement. Whatever you use for your dart, you are definitely going to be adding it back. Please don't make the mistake of not adding it. Alright, so now that we have inputted all our measurements, we're going to draw out the Halterneck line. Now, since it's an Halterneck, we really don't need this our armhole here. So you just come to the neck width here, depending on how wide you want the neck width is. But let's just use 3 inches because looking at the picture, the neck is very close. So we have 3 inches here. Now, so from these 3 inches, you are going to be measuring 1.5 to determine how wide the shoulder is. So you're going to can use 2 inches if you want it wider, but I think 1.5 is okay. So from this 1.5 here, we are going to be blending it down to the chest line. So just bring it here, the 1.5. Just use, depending on how curvy you want it to be, you just blend it to the armhole like this. You just blend it to this place, so you might not want it as curvy as this. Okay, so this is the neckline. Now if it comes to the center front here, on the chest line there is a deep plunging neck. So this is my chest line. I've extended it, so I want the neckline to start from the chest line. So from the chest line, I'm going to extend it down a bit to 1 inch below my bust line. This is my bust line, so I'll go 1 inch below the bust point. Then on this point, depending on how wide I want it to be, so I can make it like 1.5. So from this 1.5 now, I'm going to connect it to this point. So I'll connect it to this point like this, and this place I'll connect it here. So I just want to make it a slight curve so that it will not be totally straight. So I'll connect it like so. So this part now is what they use the transparent net, that is what they use the skin tone net for. So you have this point like this with the plunge neck line. So all of this place now, we have to cut all of them out. So this is going to be the halterneck. Like I said, the back is a low back, it's backless. So this line now, from this point here, if you want to sew it, you are going to be extending a strap that is going to hold the back together with it. So when we get to the back, I'm going to explain further. So now that we have done this now, we can go ahead to draw the asymmetric effect on the hemline. So drawing out the asymmetric, it's as the spirit leads. It's your choice. It doesn't have any specific measurements or anything. Just draw it as you like. So first, before you draw it, you have to close your dart here like so. You close your dart, then you can start from the side. You just come up a little bit like this. You come up again. So this one is just as you like. You can just play around with your fabric and your pattern paper to get the desired asymmetric you want for the hemline. So we just add this like this. So let's assume that this is what we want to use for the dress. So now that you have done this, now if you want to snatch your waist, because the back is going to be laced, is a lacing, the back is, I have a lacing bar. So if you want to cinch your waist, you can just draw the line here, whatever you have here divided by 2. You draw it down like so. So you can have inch on both sides to cinch the waist, depending on how much you want to hold in. This is a corset, so you can hold in as much as you want. So you just have something like this. And also, since we are cutting off this part, we are using another material. Let's not forget to do our overbust tightening. So you extend this one to this point, and we're going to tighten it by 0.5 on both sides, or 0.75 depending on the bust size of the person. So you can use 0.5 or 0.75 depending on the bust of the person. But I prefer to go with 0.75 so that this part will be very firm. So we have this like this. So once you're able to draw out the patterns like this, you can go ahead and cut it out. Alright, so for the front now, these are the piece we have for the front. So these are the piece we have for the front. Don't forget to always label it. This is your center front. So number 1, number 2, and number 3. This is the side front. So when you are cutting it on your fabric, you just add all the necessary allowance, and this is going to be a skin sewn knit. So now that we are to the front now, we put it aside and go ahead to draft the back bodice. Okay, so for the back also, I've drawn out the outline. Then we just start and impute our measurement. Back divided by 2. So our bust measurement, so the back draft is not going to be having any darts. So if yours have a dart, you can just go ahead and put the dart. But for my own, because of the bust allocation I did, is not going to be having any dart. So I'm just going to be using my measurement straight arrow without adding any allowance to any dart allowances. It doesn't have a dart, so just connect this line like this. Okay, so we have this, but since we cinch the waist by 1 inch in the front, so we're also going to be doing the same thing at the back. So from the waist here, I'm going to be going in by 3 inches. So this is going to be our style line for the front. For the back, since the back do not have any darts, so I just mark it like this. Then we'll cinch it by 0.5 on both sides. We'll connect it to this point like this. Okay, so the back of this dress, it's a backless dress because of it's an halterneck, so it's backless. Now for the front now, this is the front shoulder like I explained earlier. So you are just, when you are done sewing like this, you're just going to be attaching a rope, like depending on the design. This one on the design looks twisted, so you just attach it here. Then you are going to be fixing, so you can make it a crisscross or just across the shoulder. So now the back depth, the front depth stops at the chest line, but I want my back to be lower than the chest line. So what I'm going to be doing is, this is the chest line, so that the sides will be equal. I'm going to start from the chest line, then I'm going to slope it down because I want the back to be a bit lower. But if you want it straight, you can just make it straight like this. So I'm going to be making my back a bit lower, so I'll just slant it down like this. So now for the lacing bar, now we can go out and cut out 1.5 or 2 inches. I'm going to be making it 1.5, so I'm just going to be cutting it out all out. Now because it's going to be having lacing, this parts, we are just going to include it in our measurement since it's laced. So I have 2 inches here, I have 2 inches here. So this part is very tight, I have 1.5 here. So I'm just going to connect all of that together. So this part here is going out. So this is where my highlights is going to be. I'm going to have the highlights here. And also the back on the hemline also have its own asymmetry. So you can just go ahead and carve it out as you wish. So you have this for the back also. So just do it as you wish. Then once you're able to achieve this, you can go ahead and cut out your pattern. So this is what our back piece is looking at. So let's bring the front out like this. So this is what all our piece will be looking like after we've drafted it out. So now you can go ahead and place it on your fabric and add all the necessary allowances to it. So thank you for joining us in our class today, and we'll see you in the next class.